Ayo, thanks for watching Red Readings and hanging with the Hierophant. I'm going to stitch these videos together because we're going to do kind of a non-traditional tarot reading today. Obviously you can see it's beautiful outside, but I will probably do like more of a car reading just because it's too windy to physically be outside. So that is what we're going to be doing. Hang with me and we'll start the video. Ayo, thanks for watching Red Readings and hanging with the Hierophant. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I got a new deck here. I went to Barnes & Noble. I wanted to do a reading today. The energy feels a lot less dense than what it did for the last reading I did for you guys, which was actually around the new moon in Cancer. I believe that was the 13th into the 14th of July. And we will have the full moon, which is in Aquarius, I believe, on the 29th. At the end of the month. So I wanted to Two of Swords and the Lovers. There's some indecision maybe around love and partnerships or something you don't see coming. Regardless, this is a whole brand new deck. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I might have to stitch this video because I was getting a phone call. So distractions, right? Distractions coming up, things popping up, as well as rolling with the punches. That was a message I was going to deliver. Let me pause this video and stitch it. Okay, so I was going to come on here and give you guys a channel message about, like, rolling with the punches, right? Because when I went to get this book, I went through some trouble getting the book in the first place, getting the card set. And after I got it and I got to my car and I felt like I did a lot of work to get this in the first place, I noticed, oh, this isn't even the one I wanted, nor necessarily needed. I personally do not identify in any way, shape, or form with the word witch. I actually don't like that term. There's a huge stigma, negative connotation around it, and unfortunately, I just figured out after the fact, a lot of these cards say witch or things on there that I personally do not agree with and do not align with, right? That's the beautiful thing about free will. You can align with something, you don't have to align with something. I personally don't align with that. So rolling with the punches was what Spirit gave me, right? Because although I don't really like that, I don't align with it, I'm not going to go out of my way to go back and return it. I'm just going to repurpose something for something different, right? So being adaptable, rolling with the punches, that was huge. As I was coming on here to give that channeled message, right, my phone rang, which I've had within the last 2 days, interestingly enough, actually since the 19th, so 3 days technically. Heavily you may be experiencing this, right? Having to roll with the punches, having to adapt. There could be little annoying missteps or things kind of going wrong, so to speak, whether this be in terms of communication. Maybe it's like something, so for example, right, the other day I lost my phone. I had to go look for my cell phone while I was trying to run late to a doctor's appointment. Like, it was one thing after another. So we are still in Mercury retrograde, and when Mercury retrograde comes to a close, we're going to actually be going into Saturn retrograde. So it will kind of help us implement those lessons that we've learned from Mercury retrograde, but it will also show what spiritual work we need to continue to work on or have already done, kind of a benchmark, so to speak. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't know why I just heard the name Jacob, so maybe the name Jacob is significant. And Eleanor, the name Eleanor, 222 as I said that, so it could be significant for someone, could not be. But we're gonna roll with the punches. This is the first time I've ever used this deck. Just got it, super crispy. So we had the 3 of Wands that came out. 3 of Wands, it says, put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. So this is our first card out the deck. This is the overarching energy that I'm going to take with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. So you could be in this energy currently where you're being more logical. The Queen of Swords also came out in the last reading I did for you guys. This could be using proper discernment to manifest something coming in, because 3 of Wands is waiting for something, preparing for something. So you could be cutting things out of your life or deciding your next steps in life. What else does the collective here need to know? By the way, I'm recording this on July 21st at 11:02 a.m. So I probably started around 10:58-ish, if that matters for anybody. What does collective need to know here? What does the collective need to know? We have the 3 of Wands with the 9 of Wands. And it says it would take a hell of a lot more to defeat you. We're picking up similar energy to the last reading. Although the energy feels less dense, so far it's genuinely giving somebody reorganizing their steps, trying to figure out where they want to go next. Maybe you felt like you just completed a long cycle, like the hero's journey, so to speak. Death and rebirth, going through a process of shedding the old to come in with the new. There could be some residual lingering, though, of this anxiety, of this worry, of this old, right, still in the energy. We have the Page of Cups split deck and the Queen of Swords once again split deck. It's now, you don't have to be a woman, right, to resonate with this message, but I'm picking up like feminine energy, right? So you could be more, if you're masculine, more in this feminine energy of like, yes, you're trying to be logical, yes, you're trying to be discerning, but at the same token, there's this like gleam, and I saw it as like a little bean, right, inside somebody's heart and chakras. Distractions, of course, right, as we talked about. Because as I'm talking about this, there's people that literally drove in. So confirmation on the distraction message. But I see it as like, it was like a little bean in someone's chest, right? And it was almost like getting chipped away. Now it's like a glowing, it's the shape of it like a bean, not like a literal bean, I guess you could say. There's definitely a rebalancing of the heart chakra. I'm seriously getting like there was some old, maybe stale, stagnant pain. For whoever's watching this video, this can be timeless, but obviously you know when I'm recording it, but this is meant to find whoever when you see it. Look into, it's called the Sound Healers channel on YouTube. I highly recommend them. They're good at helping facilitate energy work. Look into go in their channel, go in the little search bar in the right corner and type in heart. There's going to be a lot of things that can come up. Now, this could be a physical problem with the heart, like maybe there's a hole in the heart, a structural problem, right? But I'm getting that this is something energetic. So this could be shedding layers of pain and hurt and kind of coming back into oneself after maybe having to feel like the wounded warrior or going through a tough, hard cycle. What else? Okay. I was questioning, but I heard take all of them. So I'm going to take all of them. Split deck, we have Queen of Swords again with the Ten of Cups. It's all about trying to logically figure out what would make you happy. Okay, we have the Hangman here. The Death card. Okay, hold on. This specific one I want to reshuffle because they didn't get shuffled well in this deck, at least, or this section of the cards that came out. So I'm gonna put them back in. Don't be mad at me, Spirit. But whatever comes out was meant to come out then, if it comes out again. But so far it's all feminine energy that's come out on from at least the deck and how it feels when I'm receiving it. Okay. What does the collective need to know, please? What does the collective need to know? What does our collective need to know? Now, before I had some more that came out, but before I go there, I could also be addressing somebody who has like maybe some slight anxiety around the future. Yeah, we have Seven of Swords and the King of Wands. Ooh, did you guys hear that loud boom? That scared me a little. So confirmation. This is definitely the energy of somebody being scared about something coming in the future. We have the sun clearing up now, which is interesting because with the sun clearing up, know that things obviously will get better. This may feel like it's kind of a transition where it's like you feel overall good, but there's still some unsettlingness to this energy I'm receiving, still some type of anxiety. But with the sun clearing, after I said that too, like truly the sun will come out tomorrow. Know that things will get better. Maybe you don't believe that with what I'm saying, and that's why the Seven of Swords is coming out. There's also a message here about making sure that the actions that you're taking is proper, right? Are you being selfless in terms of your time and energy while still having good boundaries? Are you still doing things for the greater good of humanity? What is your real motivation behind what you are doing is what it's asking you. So the cards that came out, we had the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. So this is good because this is the balancing of the divine masculine, divine feminine energy within us, in terms of the mind space, right? So you could be feeling like things are balancing out in terms of logic or how you perceive things. This could also be healing the sense of knowing when to take direction and knowing how to discern. You have the Ace of Wands, the Tower, to the Star, to the Moon. So sometimes I give messages, right? And they could be present, they could be past, they could be future. I've had people that tell me that they've had a reading from me and it doesn't resonate in the moment, and later on come to find out a week, a day, even a month. However, it does play out in the future, so keep that in mind. With the Ace of Swords to the Tower to the Star to the Moon, this is like somebody starting something. Maybe let's use the example of a business. It doesn't have to be a business, but it could be. Somebody decides to start a business. They muster up the courage and strength to put something out there. Maybe it doesn't turn out in the way that they wanted to with the Ace of Swords to the Tower, right? This is sparking something, a brand new beginning, and it almost like it comes crumbling down pretty quickly after you start it. Or there's some type of maybe a new relationship, new passionate relationship, right? There's something that happens that shakes up the foundation of a newfound foundation that you started, right? With the Star here to the Moon card, like, this is like genuinely like I'm hearing like, when you wish upon a star, like that's the energy. So somebody feels in their feelings after something comes to an end just as quickly as it started. Now, what you don't see coming, or whoever resonates with this message, is that after whatever this thing that ends, you're either going to have a renewal in the same situation or a new situation. This isn't something that I want you to feel down bad about for a long time. As the sun's coming over my head as I say this, confirmation. This can be something that is just a transition until you essentially recover something. Ooh, I just heard recover something lost inside of your soul. So this ending could have occurred for you to get back in touch with yourself. Maybe you were doing something to start up something to avoid some other type of pain, to walk away from something else, to pivot your focus, right? I just heard Spirit gave me highly successful person. So whoever I'm addressing, 1111 as I said this, which is all about manifestation, wishes coming true, creation energy, sun coming out again as I say that, which is literally creation energy. I love how I get confirmations within nature, like what Spirit gives me, hearing it, you know, feeling it, sensing it, whatever, because it all blends in and ties with the message. Don't lose hope. If you launch something and it didn't go the way you wanted, that's okay. Just know that like it will eventually bloom to what you want it to be, right? And even if it isn't in the same modality or same practical application, right? So you opened a dentistry business, for example, totally random, right? And it didn't launch. Well, you'll either have amazing new clients in that dentistry business, you know, if you try it again a second time, or maybe you pivot to something like specialized orthodontics or a service that's more niche, right? If this is, I'm speaking to like a tarot reader, right? For example, maybe your channel hasn't blown up yet. Doesn't say that it won't ever. It's just as of right now, it isn't necessarily blooming in the way that you want it to. Of course, there's another person coming in. Once again on the distraction message. That's the second car that's come this way and then turned around. And there might be a third doing the same. Triple confirmation. That's wild. So many messages and confirmations confirming themselves in this video. Sorry, guys. It's kind of cool. It just blows me every time. Now, obviously, right? You don't do this for whoever I'm addressing to, for the clout, for the views, for whatever. You do it because you genuinely love it. And because of that, that is why Spirit's going to reward you. Because you have it in your heart to do the right thing to help other people. It says, have faith that healing is in the forecast. Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential. Wow, that's beautiful energy. let's do a closing message. I don't want this video to be super long. I'm going to try to keep it under 25 minutes. I also heard all it takes is the one. We have 3 wands that came out again after I shuffled. Wow, so that 3 of wands is important. There's something here about a wait period or a pause. 7 of swords came out again, and the page of wands. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. I'm here to tell you, just do it. This is what this message is about. You could be waiting or hesitating, right? And it might be hard to gauge because maybe you've already been waiting. Maybe you've been in a period or a season where you're having to wait for things to blossom, right? Like what we just talked about. Now, obviously not everything will manifest all at once. There's certain things, of course, we are going to have to wait on, right? We can only do what we have control over. But what I'm getting with this message is this is somebody who's waiting on things too much, right? It's about finding the balance on what we have to wait on spirit for, so to speak. Like when you manifest, when you believe, when you know and you release it and you're waiting for the thing to come, right? But this is about somebody who's just not taking actions on the things that they could be taking action on. So be mindful about complacency, essentially, right? Don't self-sabotage before you get your blessing by not doing enough. Know where that sweet spot is. Specifically in terms of like, you could still be taking small actions here with the Page of Wands to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Further align yourself with the energy that you are trying to manifest. So say this is, I'm just going to make up a scenario. Say this is somebody who's looking to publish a book, right? And you have a lot of things done already with one category of a book that you are writing. You're kind of waiting on your publisher to get back to you, like, hey, is it going to be published? Is this not? What's going on? It's just an example. You can apply the same sentiment in any possible life scenario. This is up to the viewer, right, to discern how it applies, right? But this is the channeled information. You're waiting on the publisher to get back to you about that book, right? Well, say that you're interested in another genre. You're interested in writing romance, and say that you currently write science fiction, okay? Spirit is saying, don't pause. Take the time to research. My throat is closing up as I'm saying this. This is going to resonate for somebody who's watching this. Take the time to research. Take the time to research and still put out that romance book. This message is not wanting to get out. Every time I get closer to something, I feel like, because you might surprise yourself, but by sitting in this energy of 3 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, you're not giving yourself this Page of Wands energy. What I'm meaning by that is you're not letting yourself be creative, explore the possibilities, put out work or artwork that whoever is truly meant to view it can see it, because you're self-sabotaging yourself, holding yourself back because you're waiting for something, right? So however this applies for you, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Be strong, be courageous. Thank you again for watching Red Readings and hanging with the Hierophant. All the information of how you can book a personal reading with me is down below if you're interested. But thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, your comments, checking out my information in the bio. And yeah, I hope I see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.